Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a GitHub account. I'll also show you a quick overview on how to use your GitHub, and finally, you'll be able to create your first repository in GitHub. Without much ado, let's jump into this. As a beginner, you may ask, what is GitHub? And why do I need a GitHub account? Let's say you are working on a file, whether it is an Excel, a code you've developed in one of the programming tools, or an image file, etc. And this file needs input from other of your colleagues, okay? When you create your part of the file, your goal will be to save that file and make it easily accessible to your other colleagues, right? Which you can easily do on your local machine, and you can share this file or code you have developed via an email. Or you could even use your external hard drive to save the file and give to your colleague. Or you could ask your colleague to access your local machine. Or even you could use remote web storage like Google Drive, Dropbox, etc. Right? Okay, let's look at a catch. Let's say you decide to make changes to this your file or to your code at some point. You could either resave that file to overwrite the previous version of the file you have created on your machine and send to your collaborators, or you could save that file with another name and then you can reshare with your colleagues. Imagine if your other colleagues do the same for their own part of the code or the program. You would observe that this process can get complicated, especially with tracking the changes either you or your collaborators have made. Hence, this is why you need Git and you need to create a GitHub account. So, GitHub allows you to share your local repository to a remote repository in such a way that you can easily track and manage changes you make for version control. You can also share your file with your collaborators easily, and you can easily automate the integration of each of your collaborators' contribution. With all this being said, let's quickly create a GitHub account. To do this, you go to your browser and type GitHub URL as shown in this video. Or you can follow the link I have provided in the description. And once you have opened this, you go to sign up here and you click on it. Okay, here I will create a new account from scratch. First, we can enter the username. So let's say I type DoxaTech Publisher, and then it tells me if that username is available. So if it's available, it's going to show green. Yes, this is available. Next, we enter our email address, and then you can key in your password. You can decide to check the email preference if you want to have constant communication with them, as you come here to verify that you are not a robot. And once you're done with the verification, then you can now click create account to create this account. So I'll click create account. So this is a second verification from GitHub to ensure that we are not robots creating this account. So we'll click on verify to verify ourselves and the account. And once you're happy with it, you can check this email preferences if you want to receive occasional product updates, announcements, and offers from GitHub. GitHub has a free plan and a paid plan. At this level, I will just go with a free plan, and then once there is need for you to go for the paid plan, you could do that later on. For me, I use the free plan. So you can go ahead with that. Here, GitHub wants to know more about you, why you want to use GitHub, your experience of using GitHub. So you could gradually fill in those information here. If you are a software engineer, a student, a product manager, data and analytics, your teacher, and any other information that you want to provide to GitHub. You could specify that. I'll go with I'm a software engineer. And then here you can specify how much experience you have, little, moderate, a lot. It depends on you. So just choose any preference there. Ideally, you would want to start with little or none as a beginner. So I will just go with a little. And here, what do you plan to use GitHub for? You want to use it to learn code, you want to use it to learn Git and GitHub, or you want to use it for project and project repository. You have the option to choose up to 3. So I will go with learn GitHub, learn code, and host project repository. And finally here, you have to specify what you're interested in. If you're interested in Python or learning Java, JavaScript, PHP, SQL, you can specify that here. You can add as much preference as you want. So I'm just going to go with languages and I will select complete setup. So like I said, you have the option to add as much as you can. So I'm okay with this. I will just click complete setup. And here we are to verify our email address. So you need to go to your email and check to verify your email address. If you don't see the email from GitHub, you could resend verification email. So I will just go quickly to my email to verify my email address. This is our email from GitHub. So I will click verify email address. And over here we see email verified. So we could quickly create a repository or create an organization, or we can start from scratch learning GitHub. So I will just keep that for now. I'll click. So this is the home page of your GitHub account. As you can see, I don't have any repository created. Before you create your first repository, I want to show you a quick overview of the features you have in your GitHub account. Okay, let's start with the GitHub logo. Each time you click on this logo from any environment you are, it will bring you back to this home page. Next to the GitHub logo is your search bar, which allows you to look for project, profiles, and keywords available in GitHub. Basically, it allows you to search for any information on GitHub public domain. For example, let's say I type in Rankine cycle and I hit enter. So it pulls all repositories related to Rankine cycle. So with this, you can search any information that is of interest to you in GitHub public domain. You could also type in Python and you will see as many repositories associated with Python. So that's what you do with the search bar. So let's go back to our home page. I click on this GitHub logo to go back to the home page. Over here you have pull requests, which you use to pull information from your Git. I'm not going to go into detail for now as you're a beginner. Here is issues. So for issues you have created. The other important one is explore, which allows you to interact with GitHub community. If you click on this, you see trending repositories, topics, events, etc. So you could select on any of them to see what is happening within the GitHub community. And if we go back to our home page, and then over here is your profile. You could modify your profile settings, your project, you could upgrade your account, and you could as well sign out from here. Over here you have the bell icon. So this bell icon gives you notification either from your collaborators or from those interacting with your repository in the public domain. And this additional icon, if you click on it, this is where you create new repository, you can import repository, you can create new project. Our goal today is to create your first repository. So you could either come here, select new repository, or you could go here at your home page here and click this create repository. So let's go with this one that we already have here, new repository. Let's click on this to create your first repository. For purpose of definition, a repository is a container, is a storage space for your project and files in GitHub. So we'll go ahead and create this repository name to identify our project. So I can call this, say, test repo. And then here, you need to give a quick description of your repository. Although it's optional, but it's good practice for you to do that. So I could say, my first repository. And then over here, you can choose to make your repository public or private. The private repository is usually a paid version of your GitHub account. So if I click on this now, it will take me to an option where I have to pay for this repository. So I will go with the public. And then here you need to initialize your repository with a README file. Again, this is another good practice. So you need to check this box. So your repository that you are creating will come with a README file. And what is a README file? A README file is a long description or a detailed description of your repository, of your project. You're telling your collaborators what files that you have in there, what are the functions of those files, so how to install those files or how to use those files. So it is good practice to add a README file to your repository. And then here is the git ignore. So you could also add this to your repository if you want to push in files that you do not want to track their changes. So for now, I can ignore this. And then this one, choose a license. So when you check this box, you tell other users what they can do and what they cannot do with your code. And if you click on this drop-down menu, you have different options of that license to go with. So for now, I will go with none. So I will just uncheck this license because I don't need it for now. And then I can quickly click on the create repository to create our repository. Congratulations, your first repository has now been created. So I will just tick here, got it. And then a quick one here, you can now synchronize your GitHub account to your Git, to your PyCharm environment, to your Visual Basic, to your Visual Studio, and to other programming tools that you are using. To do that, you can come down here, click on this code, and then you have this HTTPS URL. You can copy this and take it to your terminal to reference the path where you can push your repository from your local machine into this GitHub. Or you could also use the SSH depending on which one you feel comfortable with. But ideally, I would prefer going with the HTTPS. So you can click here to copy it, and then you can move it to your Git or your PyCharm environment, depending on the programming tool you are using. So this is how you create your GitHub account. So to wrap it up, in this video, I've shown you how to create your GitHub account and also showed you an overview of your GitHub features and functionalities, as well as we were able to create your first repository in GitHub. I hope you find this video useful. Please hit the like button and subscribe to see more videos like this. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.